on this episode of Storms of the Great Plains.
We go chasing in the Great Plains because in some places a tornado could go for 20 miles and hit nothing but telephone poles when it crosses a road occasionally.
Wow, look at that stovepipe!
Oh man, it's just gonna miss this town.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Success, guys.
Get the barn.
Holy cow. Wow, guys.
Crazy tornado.
National Weather Service Doppler radar indicated a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado.
It's just a matter of time before you get an appreciable tornado threat.
Oh my God.
We definitely need to go.
Incredible motion. This is gonna rival the Manchester Wedge.
Let's go, let's go.
We're gonna get on that county road right there and parallel it.
It hit that structure.
Storm chasing in the Great Plains is an amazing experience. The wide open plains offer a view like no other. You can see a supercell thunderstorm for hundreds of miles, and you can see a tornado for dozens of miles in the distance. The storm chasing season was filled with several amazing setups where you had photogenic tornadoes, and they weren't moving that fast, and they were visible. There was very little rain wrapping around them. You get in there, get a great view, get decently close, and just witness everything without any rain or hail falling on you, which is very nice. We knew that May 22nd had the potential for amazing structure and very powerful storms. We departed Indiana at about 1 o'clock in the morning and took Interstate 74 through Illinois and Iowa. We drove west on 90 through central South Dakota and crossed the Missouri River and then turned north. We got to the triple point where the warm front and the cold front meet the low pressure. We had one storm fire.
Look at the tail cloud feeding all the way in to a rapid area of rotation that's only about a mile away from us. Oh my God, guys. Look at that. That is a strong tornado. RFD! There it goes! Film it!
First one roped out and disappeared, and then the whole storm began rotating wildly, and a stout cone came down. And you could just see that the next tornado was going to be much larger. The entire storm was wildly rotating.
Watch out for the car. We need to start making a move on the next play.
That is awesome.
That thing's coming right at us, ain't it, Doyle?
Yeah, it is.
Back up, back up. Stop. Okay. Now hold on tight. Put up your window, Doyle. There's big winds coming. Put up your window, Doyle. Wow, look at this, guys. This thing is wrapping up like insane. There might be a vortice right out there. Doyle, get out. Just extreme. Wow, look at the RFD on that thing. We're losing it. Wow, look at the telephone pole. What a violent tornado. Get the upper shot. There's the clouds wrapping around. Wow, look at that stovepipe. You see that? Yeah. That is violent. Go south and east? Okay, let's go. We gotta go. Yeah. We're gonna turn around the road. I can't stop filming. Oh, man. Oh, man. What a great time. We went. We did it. We did it.
My leg is just shaking.
Yeah. Okay, you're good.
We were 200 yards from that thing.
Yeah, we were close. That was amazing. That was what I dreamt of right there. Oh yeah, there's a tornado in there. I see it. Conish. That RFD is too classic.
Well, like stovepipe over.
Yeah.
The tornado grew to about a half-mile wide plus, and just gets larger and larger, and eventually it's moving straight east. We're driving east with it, and we see the town of Doyle, South Dakota coming up, and we're all worried, like, if this tornado turns to southeast, it could wipe out the towns.
Oh man, it's just gonna miss this town.
Crazy that we're ahead of it. Wow, look at that, Doyle. Huh? Look at the radar. Wow.
We're not gonna get hit or anything.
No.
This is gonna rival the Manchester wedge.
Listen to it.
We're gonna watch it cross this road.
And it was at this location that it tore high-tension power lines off their concrete bases and threw one of them a half a mile. And that was what got it the EF4 rating. Enhanced Fujita scale, it means approximately 200 mile/hour winds.
We're okay.
Wow.
We got our first big tornado to end up being an EF4 wedge that just missed the town of Doyle, South Dakota. And that was the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life. We got really close to it. You can actually feel the power of the whole thing and hear it. And to me, it sounded like a jet engine. Some people describe it as a freight train, and it just stuck with me. And it's gonna forever stay with me.
After the Doyle, South Dakota storm, we returned to Indiana to recharge our batteries and await the next setup. It was approximately 2 weeks later, June 5th, central to north central Illinois. We were sure that there was a chase that was worth going for. I got the opportunity to bring my dad along. He had never been on a real storm chase with me out of state, and he had also never witnessed a tornado. June 5th was a very good challenge for me as a chaser. I was the only forecaster, and I navigated, and I also shot video. I was a bit worried about cloud cover limiting the instability, so I wasn't sure if storms were going to fire exactly where they should or if they were going to be intense as I was hoping. So we get out there and we see these little stunted updraft bases that are not very tall at all. They're not doing anything, just these clouds that have vertically built, but they're not doing anything. As we followed the updrafts, we were getting very concerned that it was going to be a bust. It didn't look like they were really going to do anything. So we were very excited to see lightning. Had a feeling that, okay, now the storm is actually developing, it's growing, and we might actually have a chase here today. And as the lightning increases and the thing grows taller, we're becoming much more excited and like, all right, we need to get there. We're taking back roads. There were no real direct roads, but the county road network was good enough that we could travel at a fairly high rate of speed to catch up to the storm and still be safe.
This is a tornado warning message. Take cover now and protect yourself from flying debris.
The thing gets tornado warned, and we're just ecstatic. We're thinking, all right, time to really treat this seriously, get the cameras going here. So we're hauling ass across the Illinois countryside as this thing starts to organize. The updraft becomes rain-free so that it's not raining in on itself and killing itself. It looks like it's going to be a long-lived updraft. And the thing starts to take on a look like it's rotating. It's got a bold lowering. It started looking very beautiful, and the tornado began to develop, and chase was on. We were probably about 3 miles away from it when it first formed. We were on the road going east, perfect position to get closer to it. start to notice that there's debris, larger pieces of debris. We can't see the visible contact with the ground, but apparently it's hitting structures over a hill to the north a couple miles. We realize this is a real tornado. This is a serious situation. It's not going to disappear. This is a fairly strong tornado.
That is violent.
So we're pursuing the tornado, and after about 3 miles, we catch up to where it's just straight to our north. We got a great vantage point of it. We can see it ripping up corn and other vegetation. It was headed straight for a couple of towns.
Turn that music down if you don't mind. I want to hear it. I can hear it.
Yeah, slow down.
We get underneath the railroad tracks, and you see the thing, and it's
Keep
magnificent.
going a little further. We need to see it.
cannot.
Okay, stay right here. A little further.
And then you see this debris go up, and it had just hit a
Okay, go on.
farmhouse.
Drive on down the road.
To fully enjoy it just going through fields is just amazing. But to know that someone's property just got hit and that they may have, someone may have been home, it really makes you think. We pull over. This is our only time that we stop to enjoy the tornado, really, because we wanted to stay on the road with it. We were probably about a half mile, 3/4 of a mile from it at that point.
Okay,
That was about our closest approach.
Thinning out. Getting a little thinner.
Turn on the hazard lights. It hit that structure.
Did. Hit those barns.
The thing hits a shed, and then it hits a barn right next to it, and takes the whole second half of the barn off, and throws hay bales about. Just another giant explosion of debris. It took about 5 seconds for the noise of that debris in the wind to reach us, and it just sounded like the slow onslaught of a waterfall. White noise in the distance. It was very eerie, especially the fact that it was delayed 5 seconds.
Wow, guys.
The tornado impacted the barn and then moved on to the east-southeast, and it appeared to become stationary for approximately a minute.
Success, guys. Amazing success. Look at that. It's backtracking. Okay, we're gonna go on.
We were afraid that it was impacting the north side of this town, Yates City. But as it turns
Watch out
out, it
for
had just
traffic.
narrowly missed some other properties to the north and continued on an easterly trajectory.
Go ahead and take pictures of us all. Go after this truck. You're good.
You know what? It just re-intensified. It just picked up a little steam. It's going through some stuff, I'm afraid.
We get to the east side of town, and it appears that the tornado has become more powerful. It's more stout. It just appears more menacing.
Holy cow. Dad, you stay wide. You're great.
Right.
Stay up there. Yeah, keep going fast. You're fine. There's no satellites or nothing. We want to get close again.
Once we leave Yates City, we realize that the town of Elmwood is just another 2 miles to the east, very close towns. We approach Elmwood, and the tornado begins to dissipate. It appears to rope out a little bit. It has multiple vortices going around each other.
No, you're good. Go forward.
Then we realize that the tornado is hovering directly above the town. The condensation is no longer reaching the ground, but you can tell there's still a decent tornado there.
Straight ahead.
Wow.
Look at that little town, what's left of it. Not real easy. Oh, it's hitting some stuff.
Stop right here.
Check it out. Now, power transformer.
Stay right here.
It's going through this little town.
And it just happened to be directly over downtown Elmwood and destroyed several old brick buildings right along the strip.
It's doing some amazing stuff here, guys. It's sitting in the same spot.
So we pull into town. There's branches everywhere. It seems like a ghost town where we're at. We pull off to the right, off to the south, to try and get around on side streets.
Look at that building. Film that, Dad.
It's insulation or something blown out of the top of it or something. The whole roof, that roof is gone. Hey, what do I to make that stay on? I can't tell you. Now the alarm goes. Hey, I think I see another funnel off to our left, but I couldn't even see.
You're gonna take a left. Keep going. You're fine. Take a left here. Quickly.
So after Elmwood, the tornado seemed to have dissipated.
Yeah, I'm coming back down over there.
Okay.
A few miles to the east of town, the tornado reformed, and it appeared to be more of a multi-vortex nature.
Trying to come back down. Oh, it's down. Multi-vortex. Yeah.
Take a left right in here.
Yeah, it's down.
We were behind it approximately 2 to 3 miles the rest of its life.
That cycled back through.
Yes, it did. That's a pretty violent tornado. This might wedge out on us.
Twin funnels now.
Either that or it's just pulling the wall cloud right next to it.
Yeah.
So it still appeared very powerful. It was definitely a significant tornado was on the ground.
Really tightening up now, I think.
Yeah, it's a pretty mighty cone there. Yeah, get on it. Straight if we can, yep.
Oh yeah, there it is. See it?
Have you ever chased one for this long? Yes. Our tornado lasted 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's plenty of activity going on.
And we could see occasional debris getting lofted up like it had just hit a barn or a structure. But we were getting into the terrain of the Illinois River Valley, and so it was getting hilly and trees, and our views of the tornado were becoming much more sporadic, and it was difficult to get a decent view of the tornado.
Watch out for lightning, guys. It's dangerous. This is our out-of-car tornado enjoyment time. That was amazing.
That was amazingly intense tornado.
How was that for your first tornado?
That was probably that's way better than I expected to see the first tornado. Yeah. That was a real mean-ass little tornado. And
the advantages of leaving home for a good tornado. All right, let's go, guys. It's moving the direction I wanted to go.
all right.
Let's hop in. Nice job.
Woo!
Bad news, man. Tornado emergency.
For Peoria?
Yeah, this is a rare event, guys. Tornado emergency. This is the first one I've ever been on.
We were concerned, is this thing going to keep going and slam right into the city? But it appeared to be going just to the north of Peoria, which was a giant relief.
Well, we've been on several tornadoes in northwest Illinois. Started in Burlington at the bridge crossing there in Iowa, and it's now going through downtown Peoria. There's actually a tornado emergency, which is fairly rare, which just tells you the significance of this situation. It's very dangerous. Hey, look at that, guys. There's our area of rotation, still tornadic. We're trying to get out of here so we can get a better view of it.
It didn't look like it was on the ground at that moment here a while back, but who knows?
Right, it's hard to say. It looked like there was just a ton of ambient rotation.
A lot of rotation.
So we got further and further behind it, and eventually the chase was pretty much over.
I didn't even need my binoculars. We were so close.
Yeah.
I brought binoculars. Who knows why?
2 weeks later, we left for another storm chase, and we were able to go and see the damage. I believe that the tornado was rated an EF2, winds of approximately, I think, 130, 140 miles an hour. The corn was about 3, 4, 5 inches tall, and you could see where it had been wiped out and then knocked the fence down to a very low angle and crossed the road. So the really amazing statistic of this tornado was that there were no injuries and no fatalities. It was really stunning considering how many structures were impacted and the fact that an entire downtown was impacted. We go chasing in the Great Plains because there's nothing there. The population density is dismal. It's absolutely non-existent. In some places, a tornado could go for 20 miles and hit nothing but telephone poles when it crosses a road occasionally. We would much rather witness that than people's lives being impacted and structures being lost.